Fred Herzog was a critically acclaimed Canadian photographer, born in Germany on September 21, 1930. He took up photography as a teen and continued taking photos while working other jobs through his youth. He emigrated to Canada in 1952 at the age of 22 and lived briefly in Toronto and Montreal before moving to Vancouver, BC in 1953. He worked as a medical photographer for the University of British Columbia during the day and spent evenings and weekends taking photos on the streets of Vancouver. In the beginning, he used a Leica 35mm camera and shot black and white photography before switching to Kodachrome film and full color. He only achieved moderate success early in his career because the Kodachrome film he used was so expensive to develop, and so he would have slides made, which pretty much denied him access to galleries. Until 2007, when his work was shown in a major retrospective show at the Vancouver Art Gallery, and he was essentially discovered as a photographer. The development of the inkjet printer made a huge difference in how he could exhibit his work, freeing him from slides, and has contributed to his modern-day success as a color photographer. Today, Fred Herzog is known as one of the pioneers of artistic color photography, as color photography wasn't considered a serious photographic norm in the 50s and 60s when he was most active. His work is known for its vivid Kodachrome color, especially the warm red present in almost all of his photographs. Photographs such as Red Stockings and Bogner's Grocery, and for capturing personable street scenes and candid photographs of the day-to-day lives of working-class people, creating a time capsule to a lost era. Herzog's work has been compared to other well-known photographers, such as Walker Evans, Robert Frank, or Helen Levitt. While he was an admirer of Evans, he wasn't aiming to imitate anyone, just simply photographing what caught his eye. He would go on photo walks, simply walking through the streets of Vancouver with his camera at the ready, looking for anything that he felt would make a good photograph. Today, Fred Herzog is 88 years old, and his work is still being shown in galleries as recently as 2017. Most of his works are found in the Equinox Gallery, located in Vancouver, BC. This photograph is titled Orange Cars Powell, taken in 1973 and currently in the Equinox Gallery. It's an archival pigment print, and it's in two sizes, 18 by 12 inches and 30 by 20 inches. The first thing you notice about this photograph is the use of color, and then the strong shapes and lines. There are only two dominant colors in the photo, blue and orange, creating the pleasing bold contrast of complementary colors. The colors are most obvious in the orange cars and the wall of the building on the left against the blue of the other building and the sky, which can also be seen in the foreground car's windows, effectively breaking up the large area of orange. The composition follows the rule of thirds, placing the car in the foreground along the lower 1/3 line. There are several components that are using repetition to lead your eye around the photograph, from the matching cars on each side of the street to the consistent shapes of the windows of the buildings. Despite the many strong lines, the image isn't divided by them, because none fall along any center lines. Even the dark gap between the buildings is deliberately off-centered enough to prevent dividing the image in two. Fred Herzog's works are a fascinating record of a bygone time in Canada's history and create a powerful statement that lasts to today.